Hello, welcome to the weather update. It's about 9:45, first day of summer, June 21st. Kind of a gray, damp day across the area. This is what our skies look like. Just a deck of altocumulus there. Some interesting wave cloud patterns, though, in the sky there. You can see there some nice little wave patterns there that we saw. So, it was, a little interesting there, but fairly dull, dark. And we had a couple of drops of rain here and there. Looking at our satellite right now, you can see what's going on. We actually have a warm front that is stalled out over us. So draw that out right here. You got your warm front right here. It's kind of just sitting here. It's you got your huge ridge over here, your hot ridge, and then over the east, out over the ocean, you got the cooler ridge. All right, so it's kind of like there's a standoff between. In the middle, you have this trough, and this is the focal point for all of the clouds and the showers that are coming down. So you can see here is what we have here. So that's the reason why it's going to get heat up if you're in Pennsylvania, but if you're east of this front, it won't heat up that much at all. I can see all this train of rain and even some heavy rain up in Canada. We're going to have to watch the possibility of that heavy rain as we get into tomorrow, for sure, as we deal again with this front. But let's first get to the wildfire right now. What's going on? Again, this is the MODIS satellite. You can see here, again, this front parked here. But let's get to the latest in the wildfire, which News 12 actually covered News 12 New Jersey, because in New Jersey, everybody matters. And then, if we had a fire like this on Long Island, I don't know if Long Island and Channel 12, our Channel 12, would cover it. So let's get to the latest on this.
Crews are making progress on that wildfire in Wharton State Forest, burning through 13,500 acres. The flames are now 95% contained. But it is leaving behind a lot of smoke, knocking down the air quality in South Jersey. People from New Egypt all the way to Tuckerton reporting the smell of smoke and also seeing the haze as that fire continued to burn today. The state DEP believes it started from an illegal campfire early Sunday morning. No structures were lost and no injuries reported. The smoke, though, is expected to last a couple more days.
Obviously, with forest fires and things of that nature, there are susceptible populations, the children and the elderly, and anybody who could have respiratory issues and concerns of whether it's COPD or lung disease or things of that nature. A lot of people, for the most part, like eye irritation, lung irritations from it. There's precautions people could take as well, closing windows, if that could help keep some of that outside if they like to keep their windows open.
While there are no road closures, Batstow Village and hiking and biking trails remain closed.
Yeah, this was the biggest fire since 2007 in New Jersey, so pretty substantial. But here you go, looking at the temperatures, this kind of tells the story here. Kind of got the wide view, so you can see Islip, Farmingdale, actually 70 degrees, dew point 61. All right. 64 out in the Gabreski Airport. Even New Jersey, you got 72 at Atlantic City. But if we go west into like Pennsylvania, you'll see State College is 77, 79 at. So you can see where the warm front is and where the warm air is. And if we did pop the highs onto here, which is what we're going to do right now, you'll probably see a big difference here. Yep. So while we had 70s over Long Island, low 80s in New Jersey, if you were in Pennsylvania, look at that, some 80s, upper 80s to near 90 there. So, again, it kind of tells the story. But other than today, it's just kind of dismal out there. We did get into the upper 70s, close to 80, and then the temperatures dropped when the thicker clouds rolled in across the area. And if we pull this in a little more, we'll take a little closer look at the high temperatures today. And, again, you'll see 79 at Islip. So, pretty much 79. Not a lot of wind today. A little warmer in Jersey with low 80s. But the real heat is off to our west. So let's go look at the models now, and you'll see what we have again. And we're going to actually look at the jet stream once again here, because what we have is very unusual. If we look at the satellite here, you notice the clouds are moving directly from north to south. All right. Now we still have the jet stream, but the jet stream is very contorted right now. So if you look at this, MODIS satellite, it kind of gives you an idea right here of what the jet stream looks like. Just a little clearer there. You draw the jet stream on here, which we'll draw in purple. Alright, so this is your big ridge of heat over here. And look at what the jet stream's doing. So you have this narrow, very narrow trough here. goes all the way down here, and then curves all the way back up again. That is really, and we're seeing that a lot now with these really narrow troughs. They're not wide; they're very narrow. So this is the side we're on right now. You can see that narrow trough right there. It's very unusual, and that's what brought, again, that really nice, cool air that we had coming literally from eastern Canada. That's what we were enjoying on Sunday and Saturday too. But now we have this heat that is here. You got this big heat dome here. All right, that's in the Midwest, and this is baking the Midwest. They're dealing with a lot of this heat here, and you can clearly see where all that hot air is. And the warm front is right here. So you have all the precipitation here riding down along it, all the clouds, all that stuff. So it's literally kind of stuck in place because you have this high that's held in place by this trough, this very narrow, elongated high. So when we go and we look at this, and we're going to look at the jet stream here, you'll see again what's going on here. And it's very unusual. So let me go to the regional view here, North American view. So again, I mean, look at that really unusual trough there. Very unusual shape to it. Very unusual indeed. This is a very wavy jet stream. This is exactly the kind of jet stream patterns you have because of climate change. But then as we head into later this week, you'll see the jet streams almost breaks down completely, and then you just have like a cutoff that's kind of hanging out over there. And this could develop a surface low pressure system off the coast on the GFS. You could see it right there. And then as we get toward the weekend, you can see some ridging develop. That's going to bring in some warmer temperatures. If we look at the upper air, you'll see again what happens here. So there's that little trough there that kind of just very unusual, very strange, totally abnormal. So let me go back to the GFS here. We're on the GFS. Let me go back to the precipitation here, and we are going to look at the surface, but I'm going to give you the eastern U.S. view. All right, so you can see what's happening. All right, let me roll this back here. So here we go into tomorrow. You can see that front just sitting over us, bringing us the chances of showers, though it looks like now it has the axis of heavier rain more further to the west, so maybe we get a break tomorrow. But look what happens. There's a low that develops here, and I'm wondering if this could be possible a tropical system or some kind of hybrid. It's going to stay offshore. You'll see that. And then behind that, you'll see, once we get toward, we may even get some subsidence on Thursday that might actually push the precipitation, even some of the clouds further to the west. And then we have fair weather building Friday, and you can see that southwesterly flow bringing the heat for us on the weekend. And then we'll have this high build in hopefully by Tuesday and put an end to that. But this weekend is looking definitely warmer as a result of that. So let's go to the HRRR right now. And we seem to have an issue here with the HRRR coming in late. This is as much as the 0Z that we have. That's unbelievable. That really sucks. So we're having a delay in the HRRR. It is 9:55. We should have the full HRRR in. But I guess I'm going to have to use the 18Z run. So just to give you an idea of that rain that's going to be lingering over us here tomorrow. You can see tomorrow, and again, this is an older run, so we're going to have to look at another model. But you can see this axis. It almost looks like a backdoor trying to retrograde back from east to west. This is very strange. You can see Thursday looks like it will be somewhat drier. And then there's that low pressure system developing there. I really would have liked to have seen the 0Z run on the H, but for some reason there is a delay on it. I'm not sure why. So it's going to kind of, it's not a model I'm going to be able to go with because I really don't want to use such an old model. So let's go to the NAM 12 versus the 18Z NAM 12. And we'll go look at the NAM 12 and then the NAM, and then the NAM, the more higher resolution NAM. But this is the NAM 12. So you see, it doesn't look like as much rain now. It looks like the rain is going to be more to our west now for tomorrow. All right, and then see this high is trying to build back into our area, and look at this thing get wound up offshore. Look at that. So this thing could get wound up offshore here. Here we are Thursday. Very unusual setup, and this is look what the NAM does. It actually has it sitting off the coast on Friday, and then that is very strange right there. Let's look at the winds on this. Let's see what it does with the winds. I am really curious about this. There's your storm. Look at that. That looks like a good sized tropical storm right there. Let me change the region. Get the eastern U.S. for view. There it is. That could be the next tropical system right there. That looks like a tropical system to me. So I don't know if the NHC is talking about this at all. They are not, but maybe they should, because it got very unusual. But given the water temperatures, we could see this thing develop. And that could be our first system. And you can see some tropical storm force winds around it. And then sort of makes a landfall. And this could kick up the waves, too, in the surf. If we go back to the northeast view, you will see here that that's the wind. Let me go to the... I don't know if this does waves. This may not do waves. I don't know. I don't think it does it, unfortunately. But let's go to the NAM 3 now, which is a even higher resolution NAM. Very unusual to see that. So that's going to keep an easterly wind over us. So let's go look at the radar here. The radar simulation here, or precip rate, if you want to call it that. You can see that heavier rain coming in the overnight hours. Then we get a break tomorrow, and it actually doesn't look all that bad. And you can see some rain falling over New Jersey. The really heavy stuff now is much further to the west. So this high is going to push a lot of that heavier rain further to the west, which is good for Jersey, because that's really where they need it with those fires. It is contained, but the fire is still smoldering. So here we are Thursday, and you can see just very scattered, and there's your tropical system right there. So, yeah, I think we could be looking at another named storm, perhaps. It's being indicated on several models now. Let's go to the FV3 here, which is the GFS, and this is the 12Z run of it. And you can see, again, there's that rain that comes in. All right, here's tomorrow. You see the rain, and then it kind of ends toward the afternoon. You can see the heaviest stuff being pushed back to the west. And there's your system. It's a little weaker, but this could take off. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that. Tropical system there. Unbelievable to see that. As far as how much rain we will get. So let's go to the total accumulated precip here. So you can see not as much as the other. This is the FV3 higher resolution GFS. Look at the regular GFS. You can see it's got two areas. One area that's close to an inch over Suffolk County, and another area that's over an inch, 1 to 2 inches more now over Pennsylvania. And it's not really showing a whole lot over New Jersey, unfortunately. Let's go to the NAM 12. And the NAM 12 has that axis of rain a little more over going from New York City over Nassau County. And so it all depends on where these... And it can actually have two axes of rain. So it's very hard to predict this, as you can see. So it really all depends on it. But it doesn't look like it's going to be quite as rainy as what we were looking at last night. It certainly will be a little better than that. But still, very interesting. It's really annoying that the HRRR has not loaded, and there's some kind of problem with it. We can do the last run was the 23Z, which only goes out to 17Z Wednesday, and you can see it seems like it has the heavier rain over Suffolk County. But let's go back to the GFS now, and we'll go ahead and look at our dew points and airflow and stuff like that. So here we are into tomorrow. You'll see the wind flow from the southeast, generally speaking, southeast, and you can see, look at all that dew point pulling in Pennsylvania. That's going to be the focus of the really heavy convective stuff. We stick with this cooler easterly flow. Here we are on Thursday, southeast to easterly flow. And then Friday, we kind of have a weak onshore flow with that storm there. It could still bring kind of an easterly flow, northeasterly flow. And then as we get into the weekend, you see that southwesterly flow, the south flow setting up with higher dew points. And that is going to bring in that more summer-like weather. And then Monday, we'll have a very strong cold front move through again. Look at those. And then the cooler air comes in by Tuesday. So let's go look at our temperatures here. Those were the dew points. So now we go and we look at our temperatures. And you can see, look at what happens tomorrow. So you can see tomorrow, Long Island is quite cool. The cloud cover and showers, only 60s perhaps. As you make your way into Jersey, you'll probably see low 70s. Pennsylvania will be not as hot as today with those showers, but you'll still see a little bit of heat, but it gets confined more to the mid-Atlantic. And again, with that, the clouds, don't expect a huge cool down tomorrow night. And then Thursday, not a whole lot. Well, a little bit warmer, mid-70s. But again, we might even see the sun a little bit. You can see that tongue of 50s, that colder air there where the showers are going to be. And then for Friday, this is when we start warming up. We're going to have low to mid 80s. And then the weekend, we are going to be dealing with some heat here, mid to upper 80s, perhaps close to 90 inland, and a little cooler on Sunday, maybe low 80s, but Jersey can still be close to 90. And then here's Monday with that front coming through, and then we have more seasonable weather again as we get. Today was the first day of astronomical summer, by the way. So let's go now to the sky conditions. So we will first look at the GFS to get an idea. Plenty of clouds tomorrow, obviously, but you can see Thursday, look at what it's trying to do. It's trying to actually break out some sun across the eastern part of Long Island, Suffolk County, particularly the East End. And as we get into Friday, you'll start seeing a lot more sun. Friday and the weekend, you'll have some sun in those high clouds there that you'll have. Let's go to the RGEM, which is the other cloud model we can look at, and we'll also look at the NAM as well. So here's the RGEM, and you will see here tomorrow we stick with the clouds. You see, notice, look what happens. Perhaps you might even clear out in Suffolk County tomorrow in the early evening hours. Look at that, and that clearing gets pushed west, and look at this. Some clearing over Suffolk, then it kind of clouds back up again, the high clouds, but again, it won't be overcast all the time. And then for Friday, we'll have improving conditions with more sun. But again, as far as getting a nice blue sky, it doesn't look the kind of air mass that would bring us that. NAM is next with the skies. Let's go to the 18-0 in here. And let's go to that. So, obviously tomorrow we have plenty of clouds, but again, notice that little break there. It could make its way into Nassau County even, perhaps. And then for your Thursday, NAM is a little more aggressive with the cloud cover. Mainly be low cloud cover there. And that's as far as we got on the NAM. So, now that we've done all that, let's go to Wed Thu sky, which does have the HRRR, which we can use and determine some of where the rain will fall here. So let's go to the precipitation forecast. This is every 3-hour precipitation forecast here. So let's go into Wednesday here and look at tomorrow, and this will kind of tell you where the precipitation is falling. Here's 5 a.m. You can see not a whole lot. 8 a.m., 11 a.m. You can see it seems like it's hanging out over Suffolk County. Then you can see some heavy rain over the ocean here. 5 o'clock, you can see now it's bringing some of the heavier rain over Nassau County. So in that early afternoon hour there, 8 o'clock, it pushes west. So it's very hard to say where, and I think this is old data already that we're looking at here. Because again, the HRRR did not come in on tropical tidbits. I doubt it would come in here. All right, what I'm more curious about is that storm offshore. So let's pull this out and look at that storm. Let's see what it does with the storm here. You can see there it's showing the low here. This is Thursday night. There's the low. You see it's much weaker though than the. It's not nearly as strong as the GFS. It's looking at the icon actually now. So HRRR is having some kind of issue. So let's just look at the GFS here, and look at that. There's your storm right there. This is Thursday. There is your storm right there. Thursday, 8 o'clock. There it is, hanging out offshore there. GFS doesn't look too bad, but it's got some wind gusts up to 40. This could be tropical. And let's shift this over now to the NAM. Oh, this doesn't have the NAM on it. Darn it. All right, you know what? We'll go to windy.com, which is the European. Chooses the European. Let's see what this does with this storm. I'm just really curious about this storm here. Because, oh, there it is. There it is right there. There it is. So that looks like a tropical system right there. And this isn't even wind gusts. Look at that. So it's exploding this tropical system. It's going to stay offshore, but this could be a tropical system that we're going to have to watch out for. So that is the GFS, but that is the Euro. But let's look at the NAM, because I want to look at the NAM simulation, because that really looked impressive on here. Yeah, look at that. There's the NAM simulation there. Look at that. There you go. That is a bona fide tropical storm. I don't know why the Hurricane Center isn't talking about this. I know it's in the models only, but it's being reflected on several things. And given the trough overhead and the conditions, that we could see a tropical system over here. That looks like a tropical system right there. And one thing's for sure, if we go to the waves here and look at the waves, this is going to kick up the waves for sure. And this is the Europeans on the waves here. It looks like it kick up the waves, and it'll mainly be offshore. It probably wouldn't affect us. We might start feeling some fringe effects, but this is like quite a little storm here going. So we're going to have to keep an eye on this tropical system for sure. One more thing we can look at here, and this will help us also determine, is the sea surface temperatures and how they are. So we can look at the sea surface temperature anomalies and see they are above normal in this area here. Well, for our waters, we're close to normal, but you can see we definitely got temperature anomalies here. Some pretty bright yellow, still 8 degrees. So in this little area here, where that circulation could form, if it forms over that, it could take off into the next tropical system for the year. So we'll have to see what happens with that. Definitely some crazy weather going on as we deal with the wild ride that's just beginning as well the climate crisis ramps up. So thank you for watching this weather update, and have a good night.